even more importantly, the only thing that matters is capturing someone's attention now. And so, right now. And so what that seems to do, what it seems to mean is that we've created an environment where the mindset of an immature narcissist is reinforced.
Yes.
Constantly, algorithmically with the AI systems.
Yeah.
Right. And so, because they're maximizing for short-term attention. So it's kind of like, if you're in a classroom and you're a kid, that you have to listen to the noisiest and most obnoxious person in the room all the time.
That's an interesting metaphor. So imagine we're in a giant classroom, but we run it like Twitter or whatever. And so whoever says the meanest, loudest thing is the person the teacher says, focus on that person. And what happens to your class? You end up with just this cycle of people just getting worse and worse to get attention. And it just collapses. You have a collapse.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen too online, there have been games, like literal games, multiplayer games that had to be shut down because they degenerated into chaos. So the rules of the game weren't structured to allow long-term iterative social play. So it was a degenerating game. And it could easily be, it's way more difficult to create a long-term iterating game that improves than a short-term game that degenerates. There's a million ways to do that. Right. And so it easily could be, if you think about Facebook, if you think about Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, maybe TikTok worst of all, these could easily be non-sustainable games that will degenerate into complete chaos because of the implicit pathology of their rules of engagement. It's highly probable. Right?
It makes sense that they would do that. Yeah.
Well, because it's easier for that to happen. Yeah, because you have to get the reinforcement rules correct. And the problem with that is we actually don't know how to do that explicitly. Where's the dividing line between allowable speech and, let's say, hate crime? Obviously, there's hateful speech, obviously. Right. And purposefully so. Now, that doesn't mean we know formally how to regulate it in environments that are maximizing short-term attentional grip, for example.
Not at all. No, these systems they're not well designed for psychological growth, and it's not like Facebook's trying to get somewhere. We're trying to get to a place where everybody's happier, everybody's better, or X is trying to get to a place where everyone knows everything. There's no goal. It's just everyone's living in the moment all the time. And I am guilty as charged. Instead of spending the day reading ancient books that have been around for a couple thousand years that have proven their benefit, I'll spend the day scrolling on X. That's a problem. So guilty as charged. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it is remarkably addictive. It's remarkably addictive because I've also found, there's been a shift in my reading habits. I guess partly because it's more effortful to read a classic, and so especially if I'm tired, it's easy to default to I think I don't know, maybe you have the same problem. I'm kind of an information omnivore, and at X at least is fire hose of at least pseudo information.
Yeah.